JD in the Duffle Bag podcast. Chuckie Online is back again, and I am with, oh, it's a bit mad, isn't it, still? Because, like, there's just a lot going on. Comedian, writer, TV presenter, all of these different things. It must feel weird now, innit? There's all these different things.
It's always weird. There's all these like titles you get, like writer, presenter, producer, but yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just always comedy, innit? Always. Yeah. Everyone knows me as a comedian. Yeah. So yeah.
Mo Gilligan, wagwan.
Wagwan, man. How you keeping, man?
Bro, you know what? I'm all right. You know, we're gonna get to like how we actually are in a moment, yeah. Because I just want to do this quick. Because when they told me, that we was gonna have this conversation, obviously I've known you for time. You've been on my podcast and all of that before, and I was like, yo, I've seen the come up. Like, I genuinely have seen the come up, which made me think, let's have a talk quickly about come ups. Yeah. Come ups that you've actually seen pretty much from the beginning to now. So for example, like Stormzy. Yeah. Like for me, I've seen Stormzy's come up, bro.
Yeah, same, likewise. I remember I was hosting a show in Brixton, Plan B, when, you know, like when there's always a name like emerging, like, and people were like, oh, have you heard about this guy? You know that these people are going to be successful. You don't know when, but you're like, he's going to be successful. He's going to be huge. And I don't know if it's a way that some people carry themselves. And I've always noticed that the way some people carry themselves, just cool, very humble. Yeah. But then when they do it on stage, you're like, oh, he's got something a little bit different from
100%. Yeah, 100%. You know?
Ed Sheeran, Sunday Show.
Yeah.
That was
oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Was you hosting that one?
I was hosting that one, yeah.
Bruv, you know,
the first one.
I got a funny story about that.
Yeah. I got a funny story as well.
Because I remember, when I was at the Sunday Show, whatever, and I was standing at the side, right? And then I saw, like, there was all these performances and that. Then I saw this ginger brother about to set up and that. And bearing in mind, for people who don't know, like, Sunday Show was like predominantly a black crowd.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So as he's setting up now, you know, when you start hearing the undertones of the laughing and the grunting and all of that, and you know what I said? I said, you know what? My heart's too big for this. Yeah. I can't stand here and watch him get laughed at. I can't. So I'm gonna leave. Yeah. So anyway, I'm saying, like, because I'm hearing everyone's like, people are ready.
You was at the side of the stage. I remember you was kind of you was kind of near the side. I think Slick and that was all there.
Yeah. Bro, I'm saying bye to everyone. I've literally got to the door. Yeah. And then as soon as he started playing, I thought, nah, this sounds not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And then I ended up like staying and watching, and bro, like you literally saw the faces change over a period of time. You talk on that.
Yeah, I remember because I think, you know, when you talk about Sunday Show, it was those kind of early days where it wasn't just a comedy show. You know, you had rappers, you had poets, you had singers, which wouldn't normally get a shot at other shows. But Sunday Show was the show where, you know, you get on, you might perform in the next couple of months, and you get to kind of make a bit of a name for yourself. And that was kind of the time when some of the kind of underground MCs started coming as well, which was a big deal back then. You're like, oh, Ross Skepta's here and Wretch is here. And I think the cool thing is when that first started is like, it was a need to know thing. Yes. If you know about it, you know about it. If you don't, I need to go and see what it is. Just so you've witnessed it and told the tale. Yeah, I went and this person was on. So when he performs, you know, most people, me hosting, you kind of meet like, oh, cool, like you performing. And I remember he had his guitar. He used to have like, I think he had some beads on his like wrist or something like that. And I said to him, like, oh, but what's up, man? He's like, yeah, my name's Ed. And I was like, oh, cool, man. Like have fun, man. Like, it's just a nice.
Don't be honest, yeah. Was you lining up a joke?
Do you know what it is? I wasn't, because he was. For me, like being the host, I was always trying to be supportive. Okay, like that was my thing of like, let me just be like, look, you're so different to what's normally here. Let me just be supportive. Like, obviously, he stands out in the room. Plus, he's performing with a guitar and he had a loop pedal. No one had seen this. People could see him setting up. Like, what's this? Yes, I'm used to a rapper jumping on stage and a singer and stuff. So already you could tell people didn't really know what was going on. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm really nervous." I was like, "Bro, like you'll be fine, man. Don't worry." And I remember when he started performing. And he done that track, You Know Me, Man. I don't know you. Yes, I know, yeah. And, bruv, it's the same thing, innit? You're like, this guy's going to be huge, bruv. Because he had the audience in the palm of his hands. Yeah. Without having to, you know, he didn't try and go on stage. And I've seen it before where he's like, yo, wagwan, man, damn. You're like, no.
Yeah, like, stay instead.
Don't do that, man. Don't try and pander to the audience. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, man, I think that was like
with Ed. Like, it was like after the first song, it was kind of like, and then after the second song, it was kind of like,
yeah.
Then after the third one, it was like, hey, this guy's the wave.
Yeah. And I think as well, you know, with that audience, there were real goons that used to come there. So that's why I always get goosebumps when I think about it, when I talk about it, because it wasn't an audience who were like, I'm into music and I want to hear the new sound. These are guys who are coming out. They're just looking for girls. That is what they're here for. A bit of joke, you get some drink, we're in Central. That's what they're here for. So the fact that they were like, rah, no, like, no, this guy's cold still. I was like, rah, like.
It's almost like it's one of them things here where you win a crowd over like that, and that says a lot.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get what
massively.
I'm saying? When you're not from it, when you're not like from the, I don't know, the culture, so to speak, and you look different like that, and you come in and you impress to that level, then you just know, you know what, something's gonna happen in this guy's life. Yeah. A lot of interesting come ups. Can you think of one more?
Do you know what, weirdly enough, Tiny Temper's one?
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember before I done comedy, a friend of mine called Conrad, he used to do music. I used to be like his hype man. So
for real?
Yeah. So I'd be the guy who's like getting all the words in. We don't say that, nah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, yeah. Like, everybody get up. Yeah. Ollie. Like,
hands up like this. I've done a lot of that still.
There's videos of, one time we supported Skepta, you know?
Serious?
Yeah.
Tiny?
Well, no.
You and your brethren.
Me and my brethren, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
This story's mad, yeah? So when I say supported, yeah, it's unofficial support, yeah? So we've gone to this, like, I think it was like Skepta was performing. I think it was in Deptford somewhere. And they had played the tunes. It got to about 12. Skepta's meant to be on at like 1. Promoter's like, yo, guys, like, he's rinsed all these tunes, innit? He's like, yeah, guys, basically, you know, he's on his way, he's coming. So my friend goes to the DJ, like, look, I do music, innit? Like, here's one of them. He always had these tracks on him. So he's like, my friend Conrad's like, I've got his track, can I perform it? He's like, yeah. So he started performing the track. So then I just said to the DJ, like, bruv, play, I'm just like, bruv, play like Pulse X, yeah? Mix that in with that one, yeah? Then, when I play some Eskimo, yeah? So the DJ's doing what I'm telling him to do. Bruv, the crowd was vibes in. And then the funniest thing is, I remember Skepta kind of got there, because we were just kind of getting everybody hype, and then we're playing tracks, everyone's at kind of call and response. Then Skepta came with like his whole entourage. There's the guy who's big, a really big guy. I don't know what his name is. He looks like Maximum, but a big version.
Is he a white guy?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I've always heard his name, but I remember he was there, and we got off stage, and then like we got off stage. So like the promoter was like, "Yeah, guys, it's
time.
It's time, man. You guys gotta come off stage, man." And we were like, "All right, guys. Well, that's our time, yeah." We got the main man coming up. Make some noise for Skepta. But obviously, you know, like artists, they want their own intro with their own DJ. So it's just silent for 5 minutes while they could set up. And then, we got on stage. And we got off stage. And then we were like walking past Skepta, and he had his whole entourage. Then it was like, well, go on, you, man. You're right. Yeah, man. Yeah. I think they're ready, man. Bro, the way we got Ed.
Man just looking at you like, yeah, bro. Yeah. Do you know what? Funny enough, Mo Stack's hype man got really upset with me one time because I had introed them and it wasn't the time for the intro. And it was the same kind of thing still. But you know what it was? It was at Wretch's show, and then they've asked me to DJ and whatever, but everything's all unclear. So the crowd's just waiting around. It's always tricky at concerts too, because ultimately people just want to see the main act and all that. They not necessarily want to see a DJ and whatever. So anyway, I finished my thing. All I know is that these men are coming on, but I don't know who's setting up what. All I know is it's time to introduce, innit? So I'm like, yo, everyone, make some noise for Mo Stack. But everyone was like a bit quiet, and the man came, he was like, bruv, man, I'm gonna intro him, bro. I'm gonna do the intro, bro. And I was like, oh, all right, fam, I didn't, you know what I mean? Here, innit? Do your thing. But yeah, man. There's some funny ones still. How are you though, man? How's things with you?
Good, man. Good. It's so weird because when this whole lockdown situation happened, we were just ready to start doing the work in progress shows for the tour. Then beginning of May, we would have been in the States. So for the whole of May, we would have been in the States. And then now we would have been in Australia. But it's so weird how it's just changed, because then through that got a TV show, and then through the TV show I just got more and more busier. So once the TV thing finished, we worked on the next project, and it just started getting like more and more busy. So it went from like, oh right, this is some nice time off. Like I could like play computer games and stuff. And
did you see it like that? Yeah. Did you? Because I know like a lot of people that had a lot of plans. When this time came, because remember there was a lot of us that didn't take this thing seriously.
I thought it'd be 2 weeks. I thought it'd be like a 2 week and be back to normal.
Bro, I wasn't even. Let me tell you how serious I was not taking it. I wasn't even saying what was happening properly. I said coronavirus wrong so much times in a podcast episode, because to me it was just something that we was going to talk about today, and then next week we was going to come back, and then like it was all going to be like gone away and that. But then like there was a panic stage. There was a stage where I felt like people were kind of like, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to be stuck in my yard. Like, how long are we going to, what's going on? Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and then, you know, we got work. Some of us are like freelancers and stuff ultimately. So once all of this crashes, what are we going to do? Did you have that like moment of panic, or was you just like, bro, it's a PlayStation thing. Once I get out of it, it'll be Chris.
I think for me, because it's like, I'm quite fortunate that in terms of like the tour, it was like, it just meant that the tour would just get moved. Ideally, or we just cancel it and reschedule it. It didn't feel like it was like, oh my god, like I've put everything in to this one moment of a tour. I was like, okay, well, the tour's not going to happen, just postpone it to a later date and then we can do it. Because for me it was just like, it's like I don't know, the tour started to feel less important as serious as it got. Because like once you start finding out someone's friend of a friend's, mum or dad got it, it starts feeling like, this tour isn't really that important right now. I'll have time to do tour and all the rest of the other stuff. So for me, it was just a time of just like, okay, cool. Like there's a lot of things I just don't normally get to do. I don't get to really chill out and play computer and stuff. So I had that kind of good week or two of that. But then through that, I've got like equipment in my house that I bought like 2 years ago, never really used it, like the green screen, and I had like some really cool cameras and stuff. So that just gave me an idea. I started learning how to use like Final Cut and started to edit properly, because I was like, I don't have anyone to do it. I normally do it myself anyway. But when it's like advanced, like green screen, you're like, I don't know how to do this stuff. But I kind of learned new tricks of ways that I could kind of, how can I do my videos a little bit different? Let me just try stuff. And it was good, man. I think it was just that thing of just like having some time where I could give myself like a week to work on a video, as opposed to like doing it on my phone and I've got a couple of hours. I had a bit more time to try and just kind of research and learn how to do new stuff really. So that's kind of pretty much how I use that kind of early stages of
it was a lot about adapting, innit, really?
I think
adapting to
man.
what the circumstances that we're in. I think a lot of people would have learned from that actually. That's because even when I said to you before, there was maybe, that panic stage, or people didn't know what was going on or whatever. Then it was like, once that passed, it was like, okay, cool, we're in this scenario. What can I do? Or what am I going to do? What am I going to take up? I mean, do you know what? In fact, I might even just relax and just chill. Do you get me?
Of course.
But if anything, I felt more sorry for the young bucks, like the Cavani's and that. Who, like, because in my head, I'm like, you know what? You lot should be running up and down. Like, you should be outside running up and down the place. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and socializing. Because I always think back to like those sort of times when I was younger. That was what we was doing, running up and down the place. It does make me think sometimes though, like, are they even running up and down anyway? Do young bucks run up and down?
Well, my nephew is still running up and down the house.
Is it?
And he's like, he's loving life right now.
Yeah.
Like he does his homework and stuff, but then it's like, he's like drawing. I got 2 nephews, so one of them's like 5, and my other nephew's like 11, 12. But the other day I was at my sister's house and they're just running around having fun. You know, you're like, I feel like being like, it's serious outside, you know? Like, it's serious stuff. You're like having too much fun. Like. But
I'm curious to find out though, like, in fact, do you know what? If there's any young bucks that is like 14, 15, like, I want you to leave a comment somewhere and let me know, do you run up and down in the playground? Like, is that a thing now?
I don't know though.
I don't think it's a thing, bro.
But you know what
my little brother was ordering food on Uber Eats the other day, and he's 14. I was like, what, bro? How are you ordering food on Uber Eats, bro?
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
But you know what it is? You think, like, when I was like 14, 15, that gets to the stage where when you're in school, you either like, most of the times the boys would be like playing football.
Yeah.
Then if you're not, once you get to like year 10 and 11, you just have your bit in the playground where everyone chills.
That's true.
And it becomes like the little meet up point. Because, I remember like year 7, we'd be sweating playing football. Everyone's passing the links around. Yeah, let me get some links.
Yeah.
It Links Africa, just stinking out the science lesson.
That was my aftershave, bro.
You know what I mean?
Links was my first aftershave.
Oh, yeah. I remember I used to collect them. So I had the Links Africa. They had like a Phoenix one that was blue. They had another one. So every other lesson, like PE, everyone would come with their different links.
Yeah.
But there'd always be one guy who have like, they always had those kind of remixed fake ones.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Ace.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, who's got this? Brother, that's not the real thing, you know?
Yeah. Hey. I think I upgraded after that to Dupe.
Dupe, yeah.
That was my thing.
I remember my mum, she got me Brute once. And I remember taking it
Brute?
in. Yeah, it's like in a green tin. And I remember it's like a real old man smell. My mum was like, yeah, get this one. I think it was like in the pound shop. And I remember going into PE and then someone said, rah, my dad's got that. Yeah. It's like a green tin with all this kind of like paisley print around it. Proper old man smell. That the cat, he's laughing. You know about Brute, yeah?
Hey, I did some funny things for Sid actually. Bruv, do you know what? This is the funny thing, about like, when you're younger, there's certain things that feel like it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Or that you was making the certified move.
Yeah,
and then when you look back at it, you realize either it was stupid or it was funny, or in fact it actually wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But like, I used to get, I remember when my mum first told me, you see the roll-on?
Mm.
So I asked my mum, like, what is that?
Yeah.
And she said, it's to stop you from sweating.
Yeah.
So now when I started to become like girl conscious,
yeah,
I'd get the roll-on
yeah,
and I would roll it on my forehead. Because I didn't want to sweat. So I'd rub it on my, I'll do it on my chest. And these times I never used to sweat on my chest. Man wasn't
you must
lit
be
like
sweating
that.
more than that.
Then I'd rub it on my forehead, bro. It's crazy, bro, when I think about that. Oh, man. But yeah, what a time to be alive, though, boy. I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening even right now, like a lot of uncomfortable conversations that are being had. Mm-hmm. People fighting over statues and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I think that's so interesting, man. It's just like, I think what I find funny is like, it's almost like people fighting over statues, and it's just that kind of thing of like, yeah, but like, you can't erase history. It's like, no one is erasing it. We're just removing it from where we walk down the road and stuff, And me and my friend was talking about this, and we said, well, if the statue had a plaque of what this guy's, what this guy was famous for, and we walked past it and seen it, then a lot of people would have highlighted this a lot more sooner.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But we don't. It just says some real Victorian name, Edward James the 9th, 1760. You're like, cool. But I think it's been quite interesting because now people will kind of look more into that history. You know what I mean?
It's interesting.
It's
interesting. When you think about the perspectives that they had, some of the things that they were doing, you're like, okay, cool. It's an uncomfortable conversation that needs to be had. And some people don't like, some people just don't want it. And I think also on top of that, you just have those things of like, you're just like, why are you taking it down for? And you're just fighting for it, but you don't even really know why you're fighting for it. You just don't want someone to take it down. If this wasn't a thing and someone quietly took it down, would there be an uproar about it? Probably not. You know what? Most people probably wouldn't even notice. Yeah. If the statue was gone, most people probably would not even notice.
They wouldn't care either. And I think that's what's kind of funny. I think what kind of made me laugh though on the weekend was, all these guys coming up to London. And they started. When I seen the images, it's like, right, you guys started fighting, like with the police at like 1-2 o'clock. They peaked. You know what I mean? Like, they've gone up to London. So I said this the other day on Instagram. Like, they've got, they've been on the train. We're going up London, me and the lads.
Yeah.
We've got all the cans. What's happening, Dino? Go and have another drink. 9 o'clock, early.
In the morning.
Bruv, got to 1 o'clock, had their fight. 3 o'clock, 4. They are tired, bruv.
Yes.
They're like, I'm tired of being racist. I'm going home. You know what I mean? I'm going home, see the missus, man. I can't be out doing this.
Yeah.
And then by 6, 7, you've just got the strugglers who are just trying to be racist by themselves.
Yeah.
Like, which is like, you can't be in this big city of London, multicultural London, being racist on your ones.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. But I think like this period in time gives people the opportunity to express the extra overt when they've never been able to do it. Or like in the scenarios where, imagine, in your heart and soul, this is how you feel, yeah? And you can't really go and express it. But now there's a day where you can go and you can put a mask on. And like some people are not going to be able to see your face and you can just express your inner desires.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That is too much of a thing for some people to pass up.
Yeah, of course. And the thing is, you see like the video that the Tommy Robinson put out and stuff. You could imagine there's people that would have watched that video and it amped them up.
Yeah, of course.
That they were just like, it's a day out there, throw a couple of cans at the police.
Yeah.
I'm up for that. Sounds like a good old ruckus. Some people most would be there wasn't even really that racist.
Yes,
no, you know what exactly. I mean? Like, they went by, it just seemed like I get to go out, me and the lads.
Yeah.
Feels like a bit of a football day out. So that's most probably why some of them went.
Sing some football songs.
Yeah.
He's
one of our own.
He's one of our own.
It's like, some man just wanted a day out. You could kind of see that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that man peaked, man. You see like 3, 4 o'clock. Man, we're tired, boy. Back on the train to Weybridge South or wherever they're from. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, all of that, man.
No offense to anyone that's from Weybridge. They'll be listening. No. Hey, I'm from there, man.
One of the things that I've noticed that, there's been a few people that have really taken this time and this period to do some proper positive stuff, and I wanted to mention this actually, which is like Marcus Rashford, because of what he's been able to do in this time of like having Boris have the U-turn and say, all right, you know what, cool, we're gonna spend 120 million for kids to be able to have food outside of term time and that, which made me want to talk to you about this because school dinners, I look back at like being in school and that time of like free school dinner. Was you on free school dinners?
I got free school dinners like I think between, when was it? And then my mum had to start paying, I think. So I think when I was in like reception up until like year 3, but I still had school dinners. My mum just paid basically.
Okay.
So yeah.
I never knew that it was actually like for some people or even for some kids that it was a shame to claim. Weirdly
enough, when we was in school, it wasn't like the kids that were, the kids that the kind of middle class kids that had packed lunch. One weirdly, like when in my school, they'd go in early to start eating their packed lunch anyway. Uh-huh. So it was all the kids from working class backgrounds that would sit on tables, and we were kind of seen as the cooler kids.
Yeah.
If anything, because we'd all chat and we'd have, we crack joke and stuff. Whereas the kids from like middle class backgrounds just be sitting there eating a petit filou, like two man up. So you could tell a lot of the time they wanted to sit with us. And when we started to get them from like year 5 to year 6, that's when a lot of middle class kids' parents would start getting them school dinners because you could just pay for it. So I think with my mum, I think my mum got a discount because she was a single parent. So she still had to pay, but I think she still got kind of like a discount if I can remember rightly. But yeah, I never seen it as shame though.
Yeah, no, I didn't. But there's like a lot of conversations about that, about like, especially certain parents and that not claiming it really because of, I guess it probably depends on the areas that you live in the schools. Like for me, it felt like everyone was on school dinners. Like everyone was on it. Same. So we was all, and then like, I remember I had a brethren who had packed lunch, and like, I always remember the time when he showed me his packed lunch, and his packed lunch was lit. And one time I still had packed lunch at times. I still remember that. But then I'd go in his packed lunch and I couldn't believe the things that was in there, bruv. It was like,
king size Snickers. And
what? All of that, bro. And so he opened it up to me one day and he gave me something. And then like I ended up, maybe I abused it a little bit every once in a while, because then that meant that like at least a couple of times a week he would open up the packed lunch and I would take you know what I mean? Something, and then trade it in with the raisins. Do you ever remember them raisins that were in the little thing like that, and they were red? Like,
primary school, we used to eat them in like, it wasn't lunch, but you get that little break, you get a little drink, and they give you the red box.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy, man. But yeah, honourable shout out to Marcus Rashford.
Nah, I think that's really good, because I think footballers are often like sometimes the target of like, oh, you're not doing enough, you earn a lot of money. Where sometimes it's like, but what about people in other professions? What about bankers? They don't get that same kind of scrutiny of like, you earn a lot of money, you're not doing enough. So I think sometimes it's really good when you see like footballers that, you know, are being the voice of change. Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of their profession, it shines light on them. You know what I mean? Because even I remember when the coronavirus started, it was like footballers need to, they should help out and donate money. And like I was like, but there's other people in other professions that make a lot of money as well. Yeah. Why are we just targeting the footballers? I thought it was an easy target just to get the footballers.
Well, yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? So nah, man, big up to Marcus Rashford for doing that, man. I think that's a huge thing. And I think we'll look back on it in a couple of years of just like, wow, do you remember when Marcus Rashford done that?
Massive, like as a massive thing. And that's why, again, even just speaking on what you just said before, it's like, yeah, footballers get talked on a lot when it comes to money and all of that. And I just think if you're going to do that, instead of just singling them out, just talk about a certain bracket. Talk about a certain bracket. Don't just say them because they make however much. It's not even their fault. I always say to people, yeah, you got to understand this. If I am a person, yeah, where like I am playing for, you know, a company, a team, whatever it is, yeah, and let's just say I'm going to use like a big example, a wide example to just make a point, is that now I'm a part of this team and thousands of people are coming and paying X, Y, and Z to come and see me as well as my teammates to play football or show a skill or whatever. Of course, I'm going to be entitled to a change in that. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not their fault that they get the money that they do. I think maybe there might be a conversation to talk about how much people are paying to go to football stadiums and football matches and stuff like that. Maybe it's you know, some people are having to spend too much money to go and do that. But ultimately, the reality is if the fee's there and you are a pivotal part in it, then you're going to get a change from it.
Yeah.
So what, do you expect these lot to get paid £10 an hour when most people are paying £70 to go and watch a football match and there's 90,000 people in the place? Do you get what I'm saying?
Every week. Yeah.
Every week. It's nuts, bro.
Every week.
On the flip side of that, the last time we spoke was like 3 years ago. Yeah, when we did our last conversation. Yeah. There's been more levels unlocked since that time, bro.
Yeah.
Speak on that a little bit, actually, because when we spoke, yeah, and we had a conversation before, you had just finished the first part of your Couple of Cans tour, like just your first part.
Yeah,
and then after that, you ended up doing that show however many hundreds of times, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, with the Couple of Cans, it was like people just wanted to keep coming, and I was always self-conscious of like, but maybe like I was always like, I think everyone's seen it, but then it was like seeing like a gap in the year of like, oh, you know, you've got these 3 months, we can put a couple more tickets on, and I was like, yeah, why not? If people want to keep coming, and at first, if I'm honest, like when a couple of first dates started selling out. Like, for me, it was shock. It was like, raw. People are really coming out. And this was done with no promo. I didn't pay for any promotion. I didn't put an ad in the paper. Because most of the time, you normally have a campaign. You do something in this paper, that. You know, you might go onto a TV channel. I didn't have none of this. And I'm selling out, you know, the biggest room we had sold out at that date was Birmingham Academy, 1,000 people. With no promo, just purely putting it on my Instagram. Tickets were selling out. And it was so weird because like the feedback of people were like, oh, this is a joke, man. I'm trying to buy tickets and they sold out. I bet it's not even sold out. And I was like, bruv, it's sold out, innit? I'm not trying to lie. I wouldn't say if it's sold out and it's not. So it was always weird hearing the feedback of people who were like trying to buy tickets and people getting really angry as well. Like, oh, look, I've been up at 9 o'clock. Tickets sold out at 9:01. That's when it was like it started to become hard to manage because. For me, I want everyone to come. So then when you get abuse of like, but it's like you're kind of like shocked because you're like, hold on a sec, I'm putting out tickets so you lot can come. I'm sorry, there's not enough. Like, but why are you lot giving me abuse? Like, why am I getting abused for this? Vexed. So yeah, but you know, we added more dates. We had another date.
It is and, just talking on that quickly. It's funny how vexed people get when they don't get a ticket, innit?
Oh yeah, very, very,
like,
man.
Really upset.
Yeah. I think as well because it's like I've been in the position of trying to buy like Beyonce tickets, for example, and you know everyone's gonna be getting it at the same time. Sometimes the queues start 10, 15 minutes. You're in a queue and stuff, so you might go on and refresh, but the majority of the time, if you know the science of how these things work, you're like, well, they'll add another show. Like, you know, there's one show on sale, but there's actually 4 shows. So they'll add another show. And then we all know that there's people that are going to cancel, people that will say, you know, last minute tickets, for example. So it's always like, I always say to people, look, guys, just please be patient in it. Like sometimes, you know, like we release a certain batch of tickets and then towards the, you know, the end of the evening, we might add some more and stuff. Yeah. So it's just saying to people, please be patient in it. And I don't want the ticket touts to win either. But at the same time, it's like, you just have to be patient. You're going to get your ticket. But like, if you're there at 10:01 and it says they've sold out, unless I say, and I always say, I will put this on my Instagram and stuff, and like, unless I say it's physically sold out, then you heard it from me. I'm not going to say it just to like boost ticket sales. I'll just be genuine, see that unfortunately tickets have sold out, but then I'll try and put another show on if people want to come. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that experience when we first was doing those tours, and then I started hearing about the numbers of tickets we're selling. So it went from like, oh, you sold 20,000. I said, right, 20,000. Already you think that's the O2.
Yeah.
Like that's how you kind of see it. And then it went to 30,000. And then my friend would be like, bruv, that's the size of like that's that Stamford Bridge in a bit. You know.
And change.
Yeah. And then it's so weird because we added more dates, and I was really, really enjoying. I was loving doing that tour. It was hard though because the beginning stage was quite hard because I think that whole kind of like, I don't know if I want to call it fame, but it's that kind of like, you walk in the street, people know who you are. You're in a room, you're in a shop, people know you. They might not say nothing, but you get a look from people. I found that early stage hard to deal with at first. Because when I'm with my friends, it's cool. Because my friends are very much like, you know, people say, oh, can I get a picture? Like, my friends would be like, oh, look, man, like, we're just raving in it. Like, if you, like, yes, you can get a picture, but like, just be respectful of so my friends would always get it. But it's when you're by yourself and you're just, I mean, things like, you just like going corner shop. You're just buying some beans.
And now it takes 45 minutes.
And you got my man with a camera, like, yo, Wagwan, my brother. Yeah. I say something on my thing. It's like, bro, like, if you ask, I'll give you whatever video you want in it. But it's when people put the camera in your face and say, yo, say something funny. It's things like that. Yeah, my mental health suffered, man. That really that early stage.
Let's talk on that just quickly, actually. I remember when we had a conversation as well. Yeah. You were mentioning also I don't want people to I have to have this conversation in a way that it doesn't seem like people have missed out on anything. So there's like certain things I might bring up from the past or whatever, just so that if they've never heard about it before in terms of your come up and that they can get an understanding of it. Yeah. But one thing that you mentioned was that like when you was on your way to me, you was on the train and someone was sitting in front of you and then they were kind of like, you know what I mean? Like holding it up like this. And then you was like, you're right, big man.
I remember that. What station was it?
Must have been coming up to Elaborate Grove.
Yeah. West something. What's it called?
Westbourne Grove.
Yes, that's the one. That's the station. Yeah. I remember he just had his phone out, and it was that kind of like getting used to stuff like that. You know, of people just having a phone out. There's been times I've been with my family and like we go to like London Zoo. And I remember we went through, they've got like a little butterfly little like sanctuary of like flowers and loads of butterflies. So, you know, I'm in there with like my nephew, I think it's his birthday. You know, butterflies all over the place. You know, you're like, oh, right, like, this butterfly's moving a bit mad. Yeah. But I just see one guy who's just like...
Yeah. It's so big.
And it just kills your day because you're like, oh, that's just like...
Or when they try to pretend to be on the phone and they're like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Am I wrong for doing this? One time I was on the train,
Yeah.
And this girl, she was sitting opposite me, and then she was like doing this now. But then when she pressed the thing, the flash came on, innit? Yeah. But I didn't say nothing. So do you know what I did? I took my phone out and I put my flash on. I just went like that. And I just took the picture. Yeah. And you know, so I just actually took a picture. But and the flash was on, and then like I posted it. Yeah. Because I thought, you're gonna post this somewhere, and it's a super unflattering picture, really. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, if you just asked, then like, you know what I mean? It wouldn't even have been so much of a thing. But I don't know, man. I guess I understand at the same time too. Some people have just grown at a time where it's actually just a normal thing, and when something is normal, sometimes you don't necessarily take a step back to think about the actual action. Yeah, you just do it because it is actually a normal thing until someone talks to you about it, and then it gives you the capacity to be able to step back a bit and think, yeah, that's kind of mad still. When I really deep it is a little bit mad still. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But you was like saying that it really started to affect you in some type of way. Yeah, no, massively. How did you deal with that?
I think for me, like, there was so many other factors going on at the time, but therapy was the one thing that really helped. And I guess it's also like, it's not even like, you know, when people come up and say, can I have a picture and stuff, it was just being like, I'm allowed to say no and not feel bad about it. Do you know what I mean? There's times where, you know, I'm eating with my family and someone's like, yo, big man, sorry to disrespect, like, can I get a picture? You're like, bruv, you can see I've got food in my mouth, bruv. And it was just getting used to that, just being like, bruv, not right now. Give me like 5 minutes, I'll finish my food. If you're still outside, I'll get a picture. And it was just having that confidence and just realizing, like, this, I don't know, just kind of caring for me a little bit and not feeling like I owe everybody a picture 100%. Or a video and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? But
did anyone ever turn around to you and say, right, I think you're too nice now, fam?
Oh yeah, I remember doing this one show. It was what award show? The UEA Awards.
Oh yeah.
Urban Entertainment Awards. Yeah. And I went there, so I was up for an award. And a friend of mine was going to be coming, and I think he was just ringing to say, oh, look, by the way, I can't make it and stuff. So I've kind of gone outside, and there was a lady who was a photographer. I'll never forget this as well. She was doing photography for the show, and she was like, oh, Mo, do you mind if I get a picture? So I was on the phone. I was like, yeah, give me 1 sec. I'm just going to finish this convo, but I'll be back. And she goes, all right, cool. Why are you going on? Like, you're not even that famous.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, mate. Like, I would, like, you could, like, the thing is, it's not even like I walked out and I'm pretending. I'm like, you could see I'm on the phone. Yeah. And I was like, look, just give me 1 sec. I'm gonna literally, I'll be straight back if you like. Because I know she's a photographer. Yeah. Like, I was like, yeah, cool, man. Like, get your pictures and all that good stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I remember it was just so awkward because she said it, and I remember just walking past her, just like, it's like, why did you do that? That was so uncalled for. The whole like, oh, you're not even that famous though. I was like, so what? Did you want the picture or not? Like, do
you know what? Sometimes those moments call for saying, yeah, I am actually. I am. How about that? Yeah. Because they're not necessarily ready for the clap back. Yeah. Some people just say stuff, but they're not ready for the clap back. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I think for me, I was just so shocked because I was like, I just need to just finish up this convo, and I would have come back, and I was just more like taken back of like, bro, did you just say that? Nah, man. Yeah. Nah, she didn't just say that. Then in my head, I'm like, she just said that. Why would you do that? Like, you know. Yeah, but I think that them early stages, it's like I was quite fortunate because there was other people like Michael Dapper at the time. He was doing his videos and stuff. So I had someone that I could conversate with that was kind of going through the same experience a little bit.
You two talk about that a lot?
Not so much talk about that, but in terms of like when you're going to events and stuff, you know, you've got someone you know there, or are you going to that, or like how you find it with the videos, or how do you find it like with comments and stuff. So there was someone that you could kind of conversate with that could understand that what was happening and stuff. So yeah, I always remember that time because like we were like that time was so funny because like, you know, he'd have a video that would do like numbers, I'd have a video that would do numbers, and weirdly enough it was like we were just helping each other because 100%. It was like he put out a video, I'd put out a video, and people say, oh, these two guys are so funny, extra. So it was just like it was a perfect time when I started really kind of branching out to do the videos and stuff, because then it felt like it always feels better when you're doing it with other people as opposed to by yourself.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. And they always say that like, what is it? If you with a candle, if you light another candle, it doesn't take away your own brightness either.
Yeah.
And it's nice when you see 2 candles standing next to each other, or 3, 4, 5. Like, how pretty does the room look when you see a bunch of candles lighting together?
Of course.
When there's just one by itself, that's not the wave.
Yeah. No, it's so true, man. And I think I found that in terms of like being in TV, and you go to events and people are like, what's it like going into these events? I'm like, it's good, but like the man them are not there, innit?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're sometimes there and you're searching, and the girl them as well. You know what I mean? But like,
usually when we say man them, we actually mean girls as well.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I
think it's clear to throw that out. Like, man them is like a general term for like people from where we're from.
That's it. Yeah, of course. I think it's like it. I always said, like, sometimes when you go to these kind of really cool things like the BAFTAs and stuff, it does feel lonely, because you want to look to your, like, you look to your left and you look to your right, and it's like, there's no one from my background here. Do you know what I mean? There's no one from, like, who's grown up within the same vicinity of where I'm from and stuff. So, you know, when you are there and you see like Tosin Cole, and you see like Tommy Mucci or Samuel Ko, and you're like, oh, wow, man, what you not saying? You're right. I see you with the shorts and that. Oh, okay. Look. Like, it gives you that thing of like, oh, cool. Like, it's not just me here representing the whole community and stuff. Of
course. What do you think is the solution? Like, why do you think it is like that? Do you think it's because we're like the comedy scene from that commercial perspective, from that height, is still relatively newish? Yeah,
of course. Where, you know, you look at, like, it's always hard to compare, you know, the UK to the States. It's a bigger landscape. They have different cultures in different states. You know, New York culture to LA culture is so different. Like, we know that from just the music. And I think over here, it's still very new in that sense. So I think for TV, you know, when you look at some of the shows that have been successful, you know, you look at like a Chewing Gum and a Top Boy, which are our exports to the world, because they're the shows that, you know, they've seen in the States or they've seen in other parts of the world, that they can say, oh yeah, I've seen Top Boy, man. Nah, yeah, that's London, right? Or I've seen Chewing Gum. But we're still very new on that. We don't have our version of a Friday yet. Do you know what I mean? We don't, like, we've had some, you know what I mean, but we don't have enough.
Yeah, Friday, you're talking about film-wise, right?
Yeah, so I mean,
so for
film-wise,
people who don't know, like, Friday, big film.
And that's I remember when I was in LA and I went out there for a bunch of meetings, and like they asked these questions, like, so what's your Friday? You think, oh, I don't know, like, you know, and it does make you think, but I still think we're still very, very new within that space of TV over here. You know, it's like you've got some TV channels being, oh, we've got a black presenter. And it's like, what, you think that's enough? Like, like, what are you finished? Like, and I think that's. Are
you finished?
You know, it's almost like you need to do better. Like, it's not just about, you know, we've got one Asian guy, one black guy. We've also got a mixed race lady as well. We've hit our diversity quota.
We're killing it now.
It's like, nah, man, don't hire these people to hit a quota. Like that's not what this is about. Do you know what I mean? And I think I was saying this recently. It's like, when you get off the plane, at Heathrow Airport, they have this thing now where, I don't know how long it's been there, but it's like, you know, it's got like, you know, the UK, and it's got these really like diverse pictures. You know, people from all faiths, backgrounds, religions. And this is what you see when you get off the plane. I've always noticed it when I get off the plane, because it's the one thing I'm like, oh, cool. But TV doesn't reflect that. The TV industry doesn't reflect that for me. You know, it's still watching a show and seeing a black or an Asian guy on a panel. And it's just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, there's one guy. There's one guy on the panel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to like, why can't they be free? Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, I hear that.
You know?
Yeah, it's very interesting, and there's a lot that I'm trying to learn from that aspect of things as well, and I'm trying to, you know, ask a lot of questions with people that are, you know, in that field and stuff, just to try and understand, is it behind, or is it just because we're super new, it's still kind of new, that there's, you know, a lot of things that they're behind, essentially. Do you get what I'm saying? But like, you've had a lot of turning points, in your career, and I think that happens with a lot of people when you've had a lengthy career. You have like these pivotal points where you know, you're doing this, and then there's like a little turning point where this happens. And You know, earlier we talked about Sunday show, for example.
Yeah, of
So
course.
you had that period of time where you was doing those early shows and stuff. I know you like did the Edinburgh circuit and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah. Me and K Curd, we went up to Edinburgh. We're like,
What is it about that place, by the way? Because I don't. You know, it's funny. My mum used to always talk about like the Edinburgh Comedy Festival and all of that.
Yeah.
Like talk to me a little bit about that, because I know that there was like. You did that as opposed to me seeing you so much more in like the London, like hood, comedy scene. You know, like there was like another part where it was like,
I think
that next level of that. You get what I'm saying?
Me, once I had finished Sunday show and I started, you know, I'd do all the black shows. You know, you do the shows in the hood. You do the shows for a guy he's a road man. He's got no concept of comedy.
Yeah.
He's just trying to make change of it. Yo, how much you charge, blood? Yeah, I'll pay you like a bill on that. Get me? Like, it's a comedy thing. You don't really know what's going on. The mic ain't working. You do all those kind of shows.
You got to bend the cord.
You
got to bend the cord up and hold it that way.
It's so funny because people think people hold it for style, you know?
Nah, man. Listen, the thing is, I'll be honest with you though, sometimes when you get so used to doing those events and stuff and holding the mic like that, you do kind of just, that's your go-to. When you hold the mic, you just twist the thing naturally, because it's like your subconscious is already telling you the mic's probably not going to work properly.
You know what used to make me laugh is when I do certain shows, right? It'd be them hood shows, but instead of a wired mic, they'd be like, no, we're going to get a wireless. And it never works. The wireless would always start cutting out. You're like, yeah, so... you're like,
and then you're trying to stand certain parts to be closer to where everything.
Man.
It's mad.
But I think for me, I always said, look, if I'm going to do comedy, I want to do it everywhere. I don't want to limit myself to just my community. I want to spread myself out and let me try and go to other places and like make people laugh and stuff. So that was a big thing of like, let's try it. Let's go to this Edinburgh Festival. And the Edinburgh Festival has always been a place where new talent can shine. That's where you can kind of have a really good show and then kind of get onto a panel show. Before, you know, you're on a panel show, you're doing Live at the Apollo, you do a tour, then you're a household name. That was always kind of the way it was kind of working for a little bit and for some selective comics. So to go up there, you know, Dane Baptiste had went up there. He had a huge show. It done really, really well. So it kind of gave a lot of us, especially like more black and Asian comics and, you know, comics from ethnic backgrounds, it gave us that hope. Like, oh, bro, Dane's show's got nominated. And like, that's a big deal. Like, you know, for your show to get nominated is like a huge deal. So it gives you hope and you go out there, you know, you had to, like, we were flyering ourselves. Sometimes you get teams of people, just some young students, they can fly, but we done it ourselves. And for me, it was just a really good learning experience to like I would never go back there if I'm honest, but it was good to kind of, it felt like really like hustling for comedy. Do you know what I mean? Like, come to my show. Why? Oh, it's gonna be funny. Like, I'm gonna be there. It's my friend Kay, and people come in, and then you know the show's free. Then they pay you in like a bucket. You make sometimes some comics make money in the bucket. I've seen comics say, "Look, man, just give me notes in the bucket.
Okay.
Because the coins should be given out to these new guys." And you walk past and there is nothing but notes in the bucket, bruv.
Jam.
Every night. And you walk past, you're like, and that's other comics. So that makes you like, nah, we got to make our show good.
Yeah,
because you know you can make money per day. But it is to get that kind of mainstream recognition. But then it's also massively expensive. And it turns into something where you're like, oh, cool, if my show's good, then I can get onto a panel show, which is a misconception because you end up going there and you don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't get the reviews you want. You spent a lot of money. A lot of comedians get into debt. So it normally...
And you're holding a part-time job down at the same time.
Yeah. Like, so... And the thing is as well, if your show's good, then once the Edinburgh Fringe is finished, then, you know, you can perform and still carry on doing your show at, you know, you can kind of tour it a little bit and stuff. Maybe you might even get some work on like BBC Radio and stuff like that. There's things that you can get from it. I just seen it as a thing of like, let's just try it to do it. I thought I'll always regret it if I never do it. Let me just try it and see if it works with me. I went there, you know, we done it and I was like, this is all right. But then I was like, nah. And then a weird story is like so basically, like when the whole couple of cans thing kicked off, I was meant to go to Edinburgh that year. And I remember the promoter saying like, he's like, how much did he need? I think he needed like $6,000, like up front. He's like, I need $6,000. So I said to my manager, I was like, I don't have $6,000.
What, for you to perform?
Yeah, because you have to pay for your PR. You have to use a space to perform in. I'm talking like, it'll be a room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man,
so
okay.
it costs about
$6 bags. That's kind of expensive.
But that's not the. It costs around about, if you want a good show, not a good show, but you know, you got to pay for your room, all that. It's about $12,000.
12 bags for the proper thing.
12 to 10 for that month. Some comics can break even. A lot of comics can they normally make a loss.
Yeah.
If you get, this is why you need the reviews, because once you get the reviews,
then
people start coming to the show.
Right.
So the reviews are key. But then, I remember like this promoter was like, I need $6,000. And I was like, I don't have $6,000. Like, I don't have that kind of money. And I remember being like, cool, like, let me just have a month where I was like, because I used to have loads of trainers at the time. So I was like, you know what, I'll sell my whole collection, because this is how much I was dedicated to it. I remember saying, I was at retail at the time. So I was like, cool, I'm going to take some more shifts. Then I think at the end of the month, I can give him like pretty much what I get paid, and then just try and borrow some money to survive for the month. And then in my head, I was like, I'm going to sell some stuff. I was willing to like sell my laptop and all this stuff just so I can create that kind of $6,000 for this guy. And he was like, no. If I don't get in a month, then I can't do it with you. I was like, cool. Like, and this isn't a thing where I can just ask friends for money. Like, oh guys, could you borrow me like a couple grand? Because I don't have friends that have that kind of money. Do you know what I mean? I don't have family that can just like bail me out and say, yeah, cool, man, I'll give you a couple grand. Just make sure you pay it back. Because already I don't know if this show is even going to make any money. So it's not like I can borrow this money and then say, I'll give it back to you in September. It was almost like, I got to put all my eggs in one basket. So he was just very stubborn and just like said no. And then I remember getting an email a week later being like, do you want to come to the BET Awards in LA? We fly you out, we give you accommodation, and you can come and experience the BET Awards. And
2017, that was.
That was
2016.
2017.
2017.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, 2017. Was you
there
that year?
I was there, yeah. I was with Angel. I was DJing.
Yes. Yeah. Because I remember Angel was there. And
Angel was artist, by the way. I used to DJ for Angel. And yeah, we was out there doing some, and then we was touring with Jarqueeze at the time as well. Which was sick. Yeah,
I remember me and Don't Jealous Me, T-Boy, we went out there with a bunch of other people as well. And it was so weird how not even like how my fortunes have changed, but just went from like, and I remember just coming back, and it wasn't just like, I went to that award show and it changed my life, but it was that thing of like, I was about to just put my whole life into this show, not knowing what would come out of it. And then you get an opportunity from out of the blue. Like, it was so out of the blue. I remember I was sitting on my stairs, I was in his email, I started shaking. I was like, someone wants me to go to LA. Why? Like, why me?
Yeah.
So I remember going back. We came back, it was July. It gave me a lot to think about what I want to do. Do I want to still keep making these Cup of Cans videos? I did actually write out, I had this like short kind of sitcom that I was going to kind of do on YouTube, like a short form. Because I remember I'd seen like how big the Hood documentary was. So I thought maybe I can try, something like putting like an online series, and that can, kind of get some kind of pull and stuff. And it was between that and doing a tour. And I remember just being like, I'm going to do this tour, innit? Because I've been doing comedy for so long. Like, it's the tour that I need to do right now. And yeah, it's so weird. I still have the script and everything for that whole geezer thing. But
is it? Yeah.
It just weren't. Do you know what it was? It was like, it was good for the moment, but it didn't have longevity for me. So that's why I was like, cool, I'm going to do the tour. Sat down with my manager. And I've been with my manager for years. Like,
I love them stories,
like
bro.
Years.
Honestly, I love them stories of when you and your manager are hustling.
Oh, massively, man.
Trying to work out how to make this thing happen. Yeah. Trying to strategize, trying to do all of that. And then you both start seeing the fruits.
No, do you know what I think was always weird? Because with my managers, like, I remember I was at a stage where I needed help. I remember doing CBBC a few years before, and I didn't have an agent. But I was like, I've got myself on TV somehow. And I was doing a bit of stuff on CBBC. You know, got like paid like a decent bit of money and stuff. I was like, right, this is quite cool. Like I really enjoyed this experience. You know, get picked up in a cab and what would you like for lunch? I was like, right, this is I could get used to this, man. This is sick, man. Yeah. And then you know, like with that, I always said, look, like
sorry to interrupt you, but you know when someone asks you what's your rider?
Yeah.
And you're like, rider?
Yeah, no, I didn't understand what a rider was.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'll get a sandwich from M&S.
Yeah. You're just happy to go shop. You're like, rider, that's all right, I'll just go shop.
I'll have what everyone else is having.
Yeah. A rider, for what people don't know, is like every artist, you know, comedian, whoever, if you're at a show, they will, like, the promoter will essentially have stuff for you in your room. Yeah. So that to make you feel comfortable, essentially, so like food, anything that you kind of need, really. Yeah. And the bigger you get, the more, I guess, the bigger your budget is for the rider. The more
extravagant, the rider gets. I've heard of some mad riders though, like mad ones. But I remember just sitting down with my manager, and we just said, okay, cool, well, let's do this tour. You know, in my head, I kind of mapped out where I'd wanted to perform. So like cities I knew, like, you know, Birmingham, Manchester, Cardiff, I think Wolverhampton. Those kind of cities where I'm like, I could go there and do a show there, maybe to like 300 people. Yeah. And then I remember going into Live Nation, which is like in Oxford Street, and went in there. You know, the head of comedy, he's like, okay, cool. You know, like I meet a lot of these social influencer guys, and you know, when they do comedy shows, they don't always go that well. And I was like, look, I'm a comedian, innit? And this show's gonna bang. Like, I remember sitting there and he was like, all right, okay, cool. So what dates? So I remember saying, I'm mapping out the dates. I said, look, we do Manchester, you know, we do Birmingham, and then I just said, look, we'll start off small. We'll maybe have like 10 kind of places around the UK. You know, we might do one big place somewhere, maybe Birmingham. Because he was like, there's no point doing Wolverhampton and Birmingham. We just do Birmingham so that we get people from that kind of, you know, that kind of the Midlands can come to one place. So it's like, cool, we do Birmingham. You know, you're looking at the venues. Okay, cool. All right. Well, yeah, we'll put tickets on sale in like 2 weeks. Came out, and then I was like, all right, this is happening now, innit? Like, I'm going on tour. And even then I was like, because what my struggle was is people come into the tour show because they're like, I've seen this guy cut the cans. Oh, it's Geezer, innit? They didn't know I'm a stand-up comic.
Yes.
And I'll never forget that morning when tickets went on sale. London had sold out in like 2 minutes. Yeah. And I remember sitting there just like, nah, it's not sold out. And then getting a phone call like 30 seconds later, my manager was like, it's sold out. All the tickets are gone. And I was like, what do you mean? Like half of them? Or she's like, nope, all the tickets are gone. Like Manchester's on this number, that number. And then the following week, I remember like Cardiff had sold out, then Oxford. And then the tour just started selling out slowly and slowly. By the time we got on the tour, which was the 1st of October, Cardiff was sold out. Everywhere was sold out. But then you're hearing these stories of people like, yeah, man, we're traveling from London to Cardiff to come and watch. I said, what? You're traveling from where? And that's when it started to kind of feel a bit real, like, okay, this tour's happening and stuff. Yeah. And then I got the opportunity to be like, cool, do you want to add more London dates? And I was like, all right, cool, we'll add a couple. There's like, we're going to add 3. Clapham Grand. I was like, how much is that? How much was that? Is that about 400 to 600? I was like,
I went to that.
I was like, I don't know, man. You know, I'm always a person where it's not so much I doubt myself, but at that stage, I didn't know if people like were just like, yeah, I've been to it, like it's okay. Yeah. Like I didn't know if anyone still come, but then most artists will always have a moment where they realize like, okay, cool, I think this is gonna be my career now. Is when we sold out Leicester Square Theatre, so it's 400. Yeah. And we sold out 9 within 24 hours, and then there was another. I think it was 5 we added, like, I think like a few days later, and they just sold out. Then we added more and we added more. And I till this day, I don't know how many dates we done. I just knew that.
Yeah, I looked recently actually, and there was like in Leicester Square Theatre, you must have done like, it was almost like 9. You did quite a lot of them.
Yeah, we done a lot. We done double shows as well sometimes. So
in a day. So one in the day, one in the evening.
So we done a show in, and it was so weird because I kept putting up posters and people kept saying, all right, come on in. How many shows you going to do, man? But yeah, I think that's what I always say kind of drew the attention from TV, if I'm honest. I don't think it was the Instagram videos. It got people knowing who I was, but when these people started doing the tour, coming to the tour, I never forget, I was at the tour. And, you know, I do the geezer and stuff. So I'm like, what's happening, geezer? What's your name, man? It's one guy. I'm Luke. Oh, cool, man. So what do you do? What's your day job? I work at Vice. I said, oh, good for you, man. What's up, mate? What's your name, man? Oh, my name's Michael, man. Fantastic, man. What's your job then, eh? What's your job? I work at the BBC. I was like, what? My head was like,
what's going on?
I can't even pick on these people. I need work.
That's too funny.
But it was definitely a turning point, and then it just gave me the realization of like, I think this is gonna be my career now.
Yeah.
You know, like you chase it, but then now you know you're like, this is what I'm gonna.
Yeah, this is where I'm going.
So yeah.
And then obviously, just quickly, you know the TV thing now, like it's like you're a certified TV presenter now. You know, in this moment of when everyone was in quarantine and that, it was like, it felt as though, yes, we got Mo on, there's like something on TV and it's Mo. The man them, we could just watch that. Like that is a thing. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think that thought and feeling, and even that indirect statement made it certified for me anyway, and for a lot of people, like, nah, Mo's actually really here. Like he's here on TV now, and like this is not a time period thing or whatever. This is now a person that we go to in a period like this where everyone's not feeling that great, and we need some content for TV. We need Mo. Yeah,
no, big ups, man. I think it's like, so I still get excited even when I see myself on TV. You're watching some TV and you see an advert pop up, and there's many a times I'm like, rah, hey, that's me on the TV. I still get like, it still humbles me, but still at the same time, it's like I still have a lot of work to do in that TV space. I'm still very new to it.
You're still learning,
you know what
obviously.
I mean? Yeah, massively, bruv. Yeah, man.
Career highlight, quick.
Career highlight. It's got to be Netflix.
Oh yeah, the Netflix.
Because
a move. What is 190 countries?
Yeah,
fam. I can't even tell you. I can't say 190,
bruv.
Fam, I like. You know what? I'm big and serious. 30 is a struggle. 30 is a struggle. 30 is a struggle country-wise.
Yeah.
190.
Yeah, that was mad.
I didn't even know there was 100. How many countries is there in the world?
I think there's 194. I think.
So what happened to the other 4 then?
I think because, like, for example, like they don't have Netflix in China.
Oh, okay.
So, and then I think it's just
big old China. They don't have Netflix.
Yeah,
they got their own.
You know, what's a mad story is that I went viral in China, innit? So they got their own social network out there. So when my thing came out on Netflix, the Rastafari nursery rhyme thing, someone had basically changed the subtitles and put like Chinese subtitles, and within like Chinese social network out there, it was like getting views and stuff, innit?
Yeah.
But and then because what it is, someone, I think someone had like
China and Jamaica.
Someone had tracked the video, and then it was like, you know, this is like a thing out here, like people are watching it in the Chinese social media, and that was like, that for me was the biggest, like, because by then I'd done everything within the UK, you know what I mean, like Big Nasty Show, The Latest Show, where this is like launching it out there into the world.
Yeah.
And it was like, and that day was mad. Like it went live 8 a.m. over here, bruv. I had a meeting at 11 o'clock. I woke up and I was like, well, let's see if people watched it, because it's Netflix. People watch it in their own time, innit? I thought maybe throughout the day, some people say, bruv, because I know how long it was, so it was an hour. Yeah. So by 9:05, bruv, my inbox was mad. People from all over the world.
Crazy.
And like, it's not they're messaging me, they're showing screenshots.
Yeah.
You get some celebrities that will tag you in it and stuff.
Yeah.
And yet I was like, this is mad. That first 2 weeks it had come out, I kind of had to just stay away from my phone, because it was like, it's like bombardment of like, because you get some people that will like literally tag you, no, this is crap.
Yeah.
Or some people tell you, you're the best comic ever.
Yeah.
And you're like there's some people that can read into that stuff. Yeah, maybe I am the best comic ever.
Yeah. You can't take, do you know what? You can't, I always say all the time, try not to take any of that personal.
Oh, no, massively. So I just had to kind of stay away from my phone, but like it didn't stop. Like I still get people now, but that first 2 weeks, oh my gosh, man. So intense, but at the same time so happy, because we'd worked on it for so long to get it over the line, and then the edits and how complicated it is. I mean, small things of like the lights on my letter, and so you see it says Mo Gilligan, it's in red. That was a conversation we had for 30 minutes with myself, management, lighting guys, people from Netflix. We was all in Hackney Empire, and we was all sitting there. Maybe you have a tint of orange in it. No, let's have a look on the camera. That doesn't work. Okay, if we can just make it a bit more intense. No, I don't like it. Put Dash of White in it. And I'm looking at, I'm just like, well, is this how deep it is? Like and all the cameras had to be the same camera, and the amount of minute things that went into it. But it was such a good learning curve, because it's not just like you just get on stage and you do comedy. It was making sure you perform it to the cameras and the audience, because this is going to be in people's homes. Do you know what I mean? So like, you're telling a joke, you look in camera 2, and you come out, you look to the left at camera 4 and stuff like that. But yeah, as an experience, it's definitely up there, man.
Incredible, bruv. Like, what you've gone on, and there's still more levels to unlock, and I know that at some point we'll have another talk again that's like publicly, and there'll be more things that we'll both discuss and that. And I'm looking forward to that. I want to throw this out there as well, yeah. See, obviously, there's gonna be another Netflix one, innit? Yeah, there's gonna be another one. You see, when they hit you with the big Chappelle P, just text me and say, Chucks, I got it. Netflix, like the big Chappelle one, like line that one up, and you ain't got to say the figure, just text me, like on a personal one, just say, Chucks, they nice me. And you know what? That will make me feel good within my soul, because you know what? I can always go to like my little brothers and that and say, which is always really important to me, because when we were younger, a lot of the people that we looked up to, a lot of the time were overseas. A lot of the people that my brothers and my sister looks up to are people from here. Do you get me? And I love that. And there's a lot of people that like, I know or I've grown up with or whatever. So when I see, or even when I hear certain things here that might be subtle, but it's like, nah, bruv, I remember when it wasn't like that. So it's not even so much just about the money, but it's about how far that you've come. Do you know what I mean? So that's what that's about. The big Chappelle P, just text me and let me know. Yeah, Chucks, I got it. Mo, I proper appreciate you coming and having a conversation with me.
It's been a while, man. And even I remember you saying to like come on your pod. I remember I wanted to reach out to you to come on your pod as well. I remember we was doing later show and stuff. But then I was so tied up and busy, and then we had finished the show and I just kind of went on holiday.
Bruv, it's calm. Whenever it will always happen whenever, and that's free. That's, you know what I mean. You just, whenever you're ready, man, you could just message me anyway. So, thanks for listening, everyone. JD and the Duffle Bag podcast. Mo Gilligan. Bless up.
Peace.